How you doing? This is Mike Tirelli from the band Holy Mother. I'm from Long Island, New York, and we're listening to J0KeR's Electric Circus on Metal Messiah Radio.
Why so serious, son? It's DJ J0KeR in the house.
Horns up, my metal friends. Welcome to another Friday night edition of the Electric Circus radio show. We got an interview with Mike Tirelli of heavy power metal band from Long Island, New York, formed in 1994 and still active. Mike Tirelli is the lead vocalist, of course, and Greg Giordano is guitars, Russell Pzutto is bass guitar, and James Harris is on the drums. Previous offerings by Holy Mother in 1995, they had a full-length album self-titled Holy Mother. 1996, they had a full-length album called Tabloid Crush. Toxic Rain in 1998. Criminal Afterlife full-length album in 1999. Also, they had a full-length album in the year 2000, My World War. They had with the Devil Compilation CD in 2002. They had a full-length album in 2003 called Agoraphobia. Also, they did a split album called Right Diamonds in 2003. And now, Holy Mother has a new album called Face This Burn, released January the 22nd, 2021, via Massacre Records. Welcome to the Electric Circus radio show. Mike, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well here in New York. Weather's not so great, but I'm doing very well considering the situation. But thank you very much for asking.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's talk about the newest offering by Holy Mother, the band's latest offering, Face This Burn. Tell us about it.
Face This Burn is our new album, just released in Europe in January. And the States actually should be released, I believe, in a couple of days from now. It's the first album that we have recorded in 17 years. Me and Jim Harris, my partner, we figured let's put the band back together. It's been a long time. People are always asking me about Holy Mother, if I'm singing with Riot or if I was singing with Messiah's Kiss on tour. People always were very supportive of Holy Mother over the years, and we decided it's a perfect time to bring it back, and show the world that, we're eager and ready to show Holy Mother fans that we want to deliver something really good to them, and I believe that we did.
Mike, please tell us about the band members, and are there any new members we should know about, and how long have you all been together as a band?
Basically, Randy Colvin, who passed away in 2014, is the original bass player. Randy played on every album that Holy Mother has recorded over the years. And now we have Russell Pzutto from Dee Snider's band. And now Jim Harris is the original drummer. But we have a new guitar player. His name is Greg Giordano. We found Greg through Nick Lee, who is the guitar player for Riot 5, and he recommended Greg. And I was looking for someone of Greg's caliber. Greg can really shred. He's very musical, and he fit the part perfectly. When Nick recommended him to me, I checked out some of his works. He's in a band called Tirelli-vocals. It's a very progressive, very, very heavy sound with him singing and playing. Mm-hmm. So he's very talented, and he definitely was the missing piece to Holy Mother's puzzle for the Face This Burn album.
Mike, please tell us what each band member brings to the band's creative process and the gifts they bring into it working together as a band. The songwriting and the creativity of you guys.
Basically, I found Greg, like I said, through Nick, and I know that Greg is got, he's very musical, but I basically write most of the music myself. along with Jim Harris. Jim Harris is the drummer, and he's also been in Holy Mother from the beginning, except for the one album that I did in 2003 called Agoraphobia. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much a reunion between Jim and I. And I write most of the music with Jim. Jim writes most of the lyrics. And I basically, on this album at least, I wrote, like I said, most of the guitar parts and the rhythm and stuff like that. And I did in my own studio. I have my own studio. Jim has his own studio. Greg has his own studio as well. So I would send the songs over to Greg once they were completed, at least 95%. And Greg would put his guitars to them and do what he does best. Basically, play it with his style, and his solos just, it's just phenomenal, which really brought it to the next level in my opinion. And I think in a lot of music fans that are listening to the new album as well.
Mike, you guys signed with Massacre Records. How did that come about? Please tell us about it, and what do you think that record label, how do you think they help you in moving forward?
Well, it's a good question. Massacre Records, I'm working with Messiah's Kiss, and Thomas Hertler is the owner of the label. Mm-hmm. And I knew Thomas, and I was in a project called Rising 5 before we decided to put Holy Mother back together. And I approached him with the Rising 5 stuff, and he was very interested in it. So we basically got things worked up to where we were almost going to do it as Rising 5. But my wife said to me, she's like, "What? Every time you're featured in any magazine or anything online, or even Blabbermouth, or they always say Mike Tirelli, former singer of Riot, former singer of Holy Mother, mm-hmm. Not former, but whatever, and then and singer of Messiah's Kiss. So they always mention Holy Mother, and I know that people on social media are always hit me up asking me about Holy Mother, that they love the Toxic Rain record. So my wife said, it would be a no-brainer to put Holy Mother back together. It would be a great reunion. Mm-hmm. And it would just be easier for the people to recognize, who we are and who I am. And so it was definitely a great idea. When I ran it past Thomas Hertler at Massacre, he was all for it. He thought it was a brilliant idea. So I got to give my wife a lot of that mm-hmm. recognition. And, she did. It's a smart idea. Obviously now, since the record is released pretty much officially as of the beginning of January, or a month ago or so, it's doing really well. The reviews are top notch, and people are really receiving it real well. They're loving the music. They're loving the style of it. We kind of mixed. My goal was to mix like a modern sound with a classic heavy metal sound as well. Mm-hmm. I like different kinds of music, and I wanted to put that together. But I also want to keep it really heavy, because sometimes you got to be careful, because you don't want to turn off some of the classic heavy metal fans of the past.
Right.
So I think we did a great job. What I'm reading, people are really getting my message.
It's a great album from what I've heard from it, and it's my favorite kind of heavy power metal, and it's not cheesy or anything. I think it's a little bit darker than most power metal bands that I hear today. It's really great stuff. I'm glad you guys put it out here in 2021.
Yeah, I'm happy that you actually recognize that it's a little darker or whatever. Like No Death Reborn is... the song is about opiate abuse in today's youth, and we did a video for that as well. We did 3 videos. We did a video for No Death Reborn, which is a video about opiate abuse, and also a lyric video for Love Is Dead, and obviously the title track, Faceless Burn. So it seems like a darker message, and it is, but it's also a message to highlight, the pandemic with opiate abuse, and hopefully help people as well.
Mike, how long did it take you guys to record the latest offering, Face This Burn?
Let me see. You see, I've been writing songs for a while, so, I'm always writing songs. I got a whole catalog of songs. So, basically, I had a bunch of ideas and songs and so on and so forth. But when it really came down to the nitty-gritty, when I knew I wanted to finish the album and get the songs together, it basically took me about 8 months, I would say. And then send it off to Kane Sherko, who did the kind of co-produced, and he mixed and mastered the album. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kane Sherko. His father is Kevin Sherko. They actually produced and mixed big bands. Probably they're the most popular producers in the business right now. They're responsible for Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch. Mm-hmm. In This Moment, Papa Roach, Ozzy Osbourne, and his dad actually worked with Mutt Lange. So, oh, wow. When I wanted to make this album, I wanted to make sure that the production was amazing as well. And the production also brings it to the level that I wanted it to be. I didn't want to look back and say, this could have been better because, I'm not really happy with the production. So I went to the best. And Kane did an awesome job. And like I said, I could look back on this, and I still listen to it. I've been listening to this for at least 6 months mix, and I still get goosebumps when I hear the songs sometimes. I really do. I'm very happy with the production and the songwriting and everything else, A lot of times artists look back and, on work that we did prior, like the older Holy Mother stuff. And I could always say, I'm not too happy with this. We were never happy with the production, We used to record all the albums in Germany, in a studio in Bochum, Germany. Mm-hmm. And we were always on a time limit and a budget, which kind of, it was tough to come out with something that you're really, really happy with, But now, since, like I said, we have our own facility, and then having Kane mix it, it just, it's great. I'm happy with it, Because I got to live with this forever. I can listen to this, years down the line and say, hey, you know what? Put my best foot forward. We got the best, guy in the business to mix it. So here we are.
So, Mike, are you still writing about some of the same subjects as previous albums by Holy Mother, by the band? And are you guys going in a different direction as far as the songwriting and topics of the songs?
I think we've changed our lyrical content. Mm-hmm. And only because, like 17, 18, whatever, even Toxic Rain, that's many years ago. We definitely changed the lyrical content, and we definitely changed the music a bit to bring it up to par to what's going on today. And, with that, like I said, artists always are changing and evolving, and learning new things. And I think Holy Mother, from what it used to sound like and what it sounds like now, has definitely evolved into something a little different. Mm-hmm. But we also have a song on this album for everybody. Everybody, as far as people who are just into that traditional, Holy Mother sound or power metal straight ahead. We got everything on this album for everyone. Like The River is recreated from Toxic Rain. We re-recorded it. That's like a rainbow kind of song, rainbow with Dio singing. So with that, you have fans who will really enjoy that. Face This Burn is kind of modern and classic. And then you got songs like No Death Reborn, that's almost like electronica meets dark metal or whatever, And I'm only getting this from the other critics that I'm reading about, that they're appreciating exactly what I intended to do when I set out to write this album, So, and the lyrics, Jim has a different point of view on lyrics too, you know. So a lot of times I'll sing something, and Jim will just come out with brilliant lyrics for me, you know. So basically, yeah, things have changed, but hopefully for the better.
Awesome. Mike, who did the cover art for the newest offering, Face This Burn?
A gentleman by Tone Bell. He's actually a friend of Jim, the drummer, Jim Harris. And this is his first album that he ever did. He does animated drawings. And we showed him a draft of something, the head that you see on the album now. Mm-hmm. And he brilliantly created the new logo for Holy Mother. And a lot of people did enjoy our old logo, which we used to call Tox. But we just wanted to do something a little bit different, and we've been getting a lot of great feedback on that. So, Tone Man Bell.
Very colorful artwork on the album cover, indeed. How did, let's talk about the bass player, your new bass player, Russell Pzutto. How did he get involved in the band? How did you get him in the band as the new bassist?
Well, he was sitting on the side of the street in New York City, and he didn't have a job, and he had a little cup out, so I kept throwing money in his cup, and he kept begging. I'm kidding, obviously. Mm-hmm. Now, Russell is a Long Islander as well, and he's currently playing with Dee Snider's band. He just finished Dee Snider's new album, actually, and I knew him from, you know, in the scene here on Long Island, and he's also managed by Danny Stanton, Coliar Entertainment. Mm-hmm. And it happens to be, I reached out to Russell, and he was very interested in it. And a couple days before, I hooked up with Danny Stanton, who was his manager, and now he's manager in Holy Mother as well. So I just hooked up to him, you know, through Long Island scene, and he was interested, and I knew I didn't have to audition him, so I just sent the music, and that was it, you know. And so I can't say enough about him. He's a great guy, great player, and he fits very well. Also very hard to fill, you know, Randy Coven's shoes. You know, Randy Coven is kind of a legendary bass player who played with a lot of legendary artists as well.
Okay, Mike, let's play a track off of the newest offering, Face This Burn.
Tell my story from the lion's den.
Welcome back, everybody, to Metal Messiah Radio and Joker's Electric Circus. We're back on the line with Mike Tirelli of Holy Mother. So, Mike, what drew you to the music industry to begin with?
Girls.
Great answer.
Anyway, basically, you know, being in high school, hanging out with, you know, a bunch of musicians and stuff like that, it was always a good draw. You know, you go to parties, we used to play in people's basements and stuff like that. And, you know, it was a great attraction. People were always attracted to musicians and singers and rock stars. And that was one of them. But definitely for the love of music, because I've always loved music, you know. And then, you know, you're hanging out with a bunch of musician friends. And like I said, you play in these parties. Then you graduate to playing clubs and bars. And it's just, it's like an addicting drug. Music is great, you know. And it's something like that. Well, it's just something I can never give up. I love it so much.
Mike, tell us about your other band projects that you have been in, and I take it you were former legendary power metal band from New York area, Riot, and also affiliated with Jack Starr's Burning Star and Virgin Steel. Please tell us about that.
I started out with Jack Starr, and actually recorded my first album with him, and he introduced me to pretty much the whole European market, Japan as well, and it was great. You know, Jack's a great guy, and actually Jim Harris was the drummer for Jack Starr, Burning Star, after No Turning Back, after the first album. We actually did some, you know, touring and a lot of local shows back in, like, you know, late 80s. So Jack got me on the map there, and actually our first album was produced by Jack and Dave DeFay from Virgin Steel. Dave is a great guy, a good friend of mine as well. And Riot, I actually joined Riot in, I believe it was 2005, after Mike DeMeo left for a while. And I did like 2 or 3 years of touring with those guys, and still very close with them. And that was a great experience. Our first show, I remember it, you know, perfectly. Actually, Randy Coven was in the band on the first show with Riot, and our first show was in Granada, Spain. It was actually the bill was Megadeth, Quiet Riot, and Riot. It was. I remember that first show, and we've done a lot of shows. So, Riot's a great band, and like I said, we're very close right now. Still close, and you know, Japan was great. They do very well in Japan, so that was a great experience going there twice with them and playing. So yeah, and in between that, Messiah's Kiss, I was in that band since 2002, which we've done some touring pretty much right out of the gate once we got signed. You know, our first show with Messiah's Kiss was at Wacken Open Air, which was great, awesome, and you know, we kept busy with those guys. As of now, we're actually almost pretty much done with another album with them. And soon to be released, who knows when, but we'll see.
Mike, you guys have a video on YouTube, title track to Holy Mother's Face This Burn. Tell us about the video, the location of the video, who produced it and directed it.
a gentleman by the name of Dominic. Dominic is from DeVille Films. He shot it and produced it. His last name is Dominic Esposito is his last name. We shot it out on Long Island, on Eastern Long Island, from a friend of mine who owns a garage out there, and he owns all exotic sport cars and very expensive cars, and motorcycles as well, Harleys and stuff. So I came up with the idea of going to this warehouse and having these exotic cars in the background. And it actually it came out pretty cool, you know. We were pretty happy with it. And Dominic actually directed No Death Reborn as well, that I was talking to you about actually earlier. So Dominic did that, and we're going to do 3 more videos. That's coming up on March 7th. So actually, Face This Burn, if you want to know the meaning of it, it's really dealing with just your anxieties and your fears, and just facing them head on and just, you know, conquering them, you know, because there's a lot of people that, you know, especially during these times, there's a lot going on with people, you know, and a lot of pressures and stuff like that. So Face This Burn pretty much came out pretty easy, you know, as far as the lyrical content was, you know, between Jim and I putting that together. So
how did you guys agree with the name Holy Mother for the band name? It's a very interesting and cool band name.
I think I believe Eddie Cohen actually made that name up, and we just all agreed to it. And that was like, that was many years ago, obviously, 1995. So yeah, I believe Randy Coven came up with that. We didn't really, you know, think too much about it. We just thought it sounded cool. You know, some people think it leads back to some kind of religious thing, and we're like, no. So that's basically it. I mean, there was no real thought process involved.
Mike, you was in the band with Riot. How well did you know Mark Reale that was in the band also? How close was you to Mark Reale, who passed away a few years ago?
Yes, said. I was very close to Mark. Not as close as Mike Flint's, because Mike Flint's, the other guitar player, he you know, he was in the band for like 14 years before, even back in like 2005. So Mike's still carrying it, you know, the name on as Riot 5. But I was pretty close with Mark. You know, we sat down, we started writing some material together that never got released, and we all know that Mark got sick, and Mark always had problems. When we went on the road, Mark, he had Crohn's disease, and he had a tough time, you know, digesting and all that. And it's funny because I would be like, I'll eat your food, you know, and meanwhile, now I don't know if you were aware, but I got stomach cancer in 2009. So I'm actually 11 years out of that, and that was a tough situation. So Mark passed away, and then I got stomach cancer, but the same cancer that Ronnie James Dio had, actually. And they had to do a full gastrectomy on me, which means they removed my entire stomach.
Mike, we're glad you made it through that. We're glad you made it through that, and you no longer have stomach cancer. Awesome.
Yeah. Yep, healthy.
And Mike, you was talking about Ronnie James Dio. You got a Holy Mother has a compilation appearance on Holy Diver on Holy Dio, a tribute to the voice of metal, Ronnie James Dio. Was released on Century Media Records 2-CD set back in 1999. Please tell us about it, and how did that come about?
Well, basically, we recorded Holy Diver on, I believe it's the Criminal Afterlife album, I believe. Yes. And it was convenient because our label at the time suggested, you know, I guess the Century Media, that we did Holy Diver, which is a tribute to Ronnie. And basically that was about it, you know. That's it, really. I mean, it was just, we happened to put it on the album as well, but it wasn't planned, the compilation. It's just that we recorded it. But very recent, I did a song on a YouTube channel. Richie Castellano was the guitar player and the MD for Blue Oyster Cult, and he has a show on there called Band Geek, and I recorded "Children of the Sea," and it's done really well, and you should check that out. If anyone's who's listening should check out Band Geek and check out "Children of the Sea." I also did 2 more songs for Band Geek, which is Here I Go Again from Whitesnake, and
Nice.
and just very recent I did another song on his show from Mr. Big called To Be With You. But Ronnie is my hero. I love Ronnie. He was my favorite vocalist. And it was a pleasure. I mean, it was great. Actually, I think Ingrid Malmsteen was on that compilation as well. And a couple of other artists that were pretty well renowned, you know?
Mike, please tell us about your vocals and how do you maintain your voice and keeping it up to par and sharp? Do you do any special exercises to work on your voice?
What I've been very busy over the years. I mean, like I said, I'm in all these bands, and I also sing in a top 40 band. It's a wedding band, and it's an 8-piece band, so I get to sing. I'm always, practicing my craft and different styles and stuff like that. But very recent, I just went back to basics again because we're not gigging. So basically, I do, like vocal exercises. I'm always trying to challenge my vocals as well, So that's a great way to keep your vocals in shape and keep focused on, on what style we're doing. I mean, when you're doing different music, like top 40, stuff like that, you're not belting, So when you're in the heavy metal genre, singing the stuff like, Holy Mother and all that kind of stuff and Ronnie James Dio stuff, you're belting. So that you have to keep up with. It's like a workout, Right. Diaphragmatic work, compression, and stuff like that. But basically, to keep my voice in shape, I mean, don't drink too much. Don't, just be healthy. Don't do too many drugs. Not that I do any, but stuff like that. Stay very hydrated. It's good for your vocals and rest. There's a balance between rest and there's a balance between using your craft.
Right. Mike, you guys did tours before. Tell us about some of those experiences and some cool stories about touring over the years.
Oh, I've been touring with different bands and stuff like that, so it's always a different experience. But I gotta say, I had crazy experiences with Riot though, and fun. They're just characters, especially. I mean, Mark Reale was Mark was funny in his own way, Yeah. And we just had a great time. Even though sometimes some of the tours were tough and didn't work out as planned sometimes, but we had some great stories. And I'll tell you, Frank Gilchrist, who's the drummer of Riot, we just laughed the whole time through the whole tour. And then sometimes we would get a little rough, like I'd say, but when you look back on it, we'd be like, oh my God. Some of the stories, I mean, sometimes, you're touring and you're trying to get to the next city. And one time we took a train tour, all of Europe, and we had a manager, Damon, his name was, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get this tour together for you guys, and we're gonna do a train tour. And we're like, what? A train tour? So he thought he had it together. I mean, so many times we'd show up at the wrong city. We had a day off. We showed up. We were supposed to go to Amsterdam on a day off. We showed up in like France one day. It's like, I mean, it's funny now, but at the time, it wasn't that funny. But I mean, there's so many different stories. I mean, Riot was funny. Messiah's Kiss was also, I mean, just playing so many. The venues were great. We toured with Doro Pesh. I remember that tour. That was a 2-month tour. And just playing the different venues, But Riot was probably the most hilarious out of all of them.
Please tell us what kind of show, when you do start doing shows again, what kind of Holy Mother show can the fans or new fans expect when they see you perform live? With all this time built up, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of other musicians as well, and especially the musicians that, go out and they tour 250 shows a year, I think
they're going to see a show that they never ever experienced in their life. I mean, Holy Mother is going to come out with extreme energy, extreme power, and never a boring spot in the set. They're going to love the songs. The songs are catchy. The songs are sing-along. And I think when they leave, it's just gonna make a mark on them for a very long time until they come back for the next show.
So, is any aspirations to work on any new music in the future for Holy Mother? Anything new coming up after this offering?
Definitely. Want to hear something? I'm kidding. Like I said, I'm always writing. I got a whole hard drive of, I would say, without even exaggerating, I got at least 40 ideas and songs that are, pretty much ready to finish. A lot of times I write songs and I write half the song or whatever, and then I go back and I see if it's worth finishing, But yeah, I'm well prepared. I'm actually going to start working on stuff with Jim Harris, my partner, probably maybe by the end of the week. And just start finishing stuff so we have stuff, well prepared for the next time we need to release new stuff. But basically, I'm trying to get everything in here. To mention, we just did a Van Halen tribute. We participated in a compilation. All Long Island bands. I think it's 18 or 17 bands participated in this Eddie Van Halen tribute. Wow. And we did Mean Street. And I'm actually giving it to our label as well, and we're going to release that as well.
Oh, cool. We look forward to hearing that, too. Mean Street. That's one of my favorite songs of all time by Van Halen, the David Lee Roth era. Very, very nice, Mike.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it. We did it Holy Mother style, which is kind of heavier. Greg did an outstanding job with the guitars and stuff like that. I mean... Being said, Mean Street is in a flat key. It's in an A flat, but we actually recorded it in standard A tuning. But Greg happens to play a 7-string for everything, so he actually, played it open A. His open A instead of a B on his 7-string, and it just made it growl. I mean, just what he did on the guitar is really. We're all excited about it. So we're doing a video for that one too, by the way. But look for that.
Who edits your videos and everything on YouTube? Who's the editor who help you guys edit everything?
It depends on what we're talking about. As far as the videos for Holy Mother go, we did a lyric video. There's a gentleman I believe he's in Belgium who did the lyric video. Dominic Esposito from DeVille Films did No Death Reborn, which is a conceptual video about opiate abuse. And then Faces Burn, Dominic did that one as well from DeVille Films. And he does the editing because I'll tell you what, I tried to do the editing. It didn't work out very well.
Mike, what advice would you have to give to new and upcoming bands?
Since the music business has changed so much in the last 20 years, as we all know, with downloading and all that kind of stuff. My advice would be just, really play music for the love of it, and just play it and just believe in what you're doing. And just like everybody says, follow your dream, and just play it out. But most importantly, just enjoy what you're doing. That's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Earlier, Mikey was talking about reviews that has been done already for the new offering. Please tell us about some of the reviews so far and how are the fans accepting and responding to it in social media?
Like I said before, we're kind of blown away about all the reviews. They're just incredible. People are really recognizing exactly what I wanted to do as far as writing this new Holy Mother album. And what I was able to do is what they're recognizing as far as combining music styles, but keeping it heavy and also keeping it traditional as well. And they're definitely recognizing that. I see it all the time. They just keep saying, well, they managed to make it almost electronica meets power metal meets classic heavy metal and hard rock. So it's all in one. So like I said, they're recognizing what I did, and I'm very appreciative of it. And their reviews have been amazing, really. Europe and America so far. And there's a lot of people that did not know who Holy Mother was. And they're like, I can't believe I've never heard of Holy Mother before. I'm like, well, we did lay off for 17 years while everyone, myself doing different projects. But, a lot of people are saying that, and they go back and buy the back catalog, and some of it's hard to get, except for Agoraphobia, but it was on SPV, and so that's a little easy to get as far as online and Spotify and all that. But so the reviews have been great, and we're all, just very happy about it. The only thing we're not happy about is what every other musician's happy about. We can't go out, there's no bookings for shows or festivals or tours. But I believe it's going to come around eventually, because people, we're all missing live music, and it will be there soon.
Mike, please give a plug on your websites and where people can buy a physical copy of the newest offering. And do you guys have any merchandise that the fans can buy?
Yeah, merchandise, we can always, T-shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff is always available. I'm Mike Tirelli on Facebook, Holy Mother on Facebook, Holy Mother on Instagram, Mike Tirelli on Instagram, Mike Tirelli on YouTube. And you could buy the new album on all the outlets available today, from Spotify to iTunes to Apple Tunes. Apple featured the band as new upcoming hard rock bands to look out for. So even those big outlets are really recognizing that that the album is doing very well, and they're very supportive.
Mike, please give some shout outs to your fans and maybe a new fan to be. What would you like to say to them in closing?
I just want to say thank you to the fans who have supported us over the years. And I'm sorry that we didn't release something sooner, but we're here now. And I'm happy that you're enjoying it. And I believe that the new fans who did not hear of Holy Mother are really, really going to enjoy what we're doing right now. And also our back catalog. Check that out, because I think they'll enjoy that as well.
Yes, great answer and everything. And yes, everybody, please go check out Holy Mother. You just put Holy Mother in Google search, and I'm sure you will find everything on Holy Mother. Mike, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you on the show with us here tonight, Joker's Electric Circus, presented by Metal Messiah Radio. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for doing this interview with us, and you're more than welcome to come back on the show when you want to promote something else in the future, man. Thank you.
Well, hopefully shows. We can get on and play, play down in Georgia, and we can promote the show down there.
Absolutely, and I would be very happy to come see you perform live after this COVID crap ends and you guys can tour again and do your thing.
Yes, indeed. Everybody, yeah. Good luck to everybody, and everyone stay safe, stay healthy, and Holy Mother will see you, I'm sure, very soon.